Coming up on Network Africa. Rocket fire hits Tripoli's airport, breaking the truce brokered during the Muslim festival of Eid al-Adha. The World Health Organization says there are no new Ebola cases in DR Congo's Goma city as the WHO vaccinates over 1,300 people. Zimbabwe secures 2 loans of more than $42.5 million from India to boost the country's electricity generations. Hello and a warm welcome to the program and a happy Eid festival to all our Muslims viewers. I'm Teniola Shoboale. Let's begin today's program by taking a look at stories that made headlines over the weekend.
Tank exploded in eastern Tanzania on Saturday, killing at least 71 people. The fire erupted as a crowd gathered to siphon petrol from the tanker. Government spokesman Hassan Abbasi said at least 70 people were injured in the blast, which occurred in Morogoro, a town around 200 kilometers west of the commercial capital, Dar es Salaam. Away from Tanzania, the United Nations says it does not intend to withdraw its mission from Libya, despite the killing of 3 of its workers in a car bomb explosion in Benghazi. The attack earlier on Saturday came as the United Nations was brokering a truce in the capital Tripoli, where the eastern-based Libyan National Army Force launched a surprise attack in April, part of the chaos in Libya since the toppling of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011.
Madam President, members of the Council, I begin with the tragic news of the car bomb explosion that took place in Benghazi today. There was a number of casualties, including United Nations staff working and living in Benghazi. We are now in a position to confirm that 3 United Nations staff members were among the fatalities, and 2 others were injured and are now being treated. Scores of Libyans are also among the injured. The United Nations doesn't intend to evacuate from Libya. For the foreseeable future, our place remains alongside the Libyan people, like our brave colleagues who gave their lives today.
3 UN staff members and 2 other mission members were killed as a car bomb exploded in front of a shopping mall and bank. 2 UN members were also injured, along with several Libyans. Finally, the Ocean Viking ship run by Doctors Without Borders with Franco-German charity SOS Mediterranean rescued another 85 migrants from an overcrowded rubber dinghy in international waters on Saturday, carrying out a second rescue operation in a few hours. Half of the migrants rescued were minors between the age of 13 and 15, and they were traveling unaccompanied.
To our main stories now. In Libya, the Libyan capital's sole functioning airport has been hit by rocket fire, breaking the truce brokered during the Eid festival. The deal, which started on Saturday afternoon, was agreed by the UN-backed government of national accord and the rogue General Khalifa Haftar. Forces loyal to General Haftar have been attacking the capital Tripoli since April, but he agreed to the truce so that Libyan citizens can celebrate this Eid in peace. The GNA believes General Haftar's forces for the attack on the runway at Mitiga Airport and for a separate alleged attack in the Sog al-Jamah district of Tripoli. General Haftar is yet to respond to the allegations. South Africa's Minister for International Relations, South African court officials say illegal foreign nationals who are among those arrested during a series of raids in Johannesburg will be deported to their various countries. Over 400 people appeared in court for several charges, including illegal possession of firearms and trading with counterfeit goods. The group included South Africans and foreign nationals. Our correspondent, Itumeleng Mafisa, was at the court today and now reports.
Drama unfolded outside the Johannesburg Magistrates Court as South Africans and foreign nationals displayed their displeasure at the treatment of foreign nationals.
Very bad, hey? It's not a good thing to be a foreigner in any country, regardless which country you are into. But yeah, that's just how it is. We're not happy being foreigners in other countries. They've been treated very badly. Like some have documents and they have been held here and for no reason, just because of other people's sin, and which is very bad.
Other interested groups and foreign nationals also expressed their displeasure.
Mr. Ramaphosa, if it was your child, if it was your wife, if it was your cousin, could you allow them to suffer like this? Because we are in heaven in South Africa.
There is no legal representative who's here today who has had an opportunity, to consult with any of the people that are arrested, because the people that were arrested have been denied access, to legal representation. And throughout the course of the weekend, we tried to go into the cells so that we could speak to them, find out what's happening, and we were denied that.
Hundreds of people were detained while they have proper and legitimate documents, and then there are voices that coming out from politicians, which is trying to kill our, to assassinate our characters by saying we illegally occupy the buildings and we are involving in illegal trade, which is totally untrue.
Speaking on Sunday, Police Minister Bheki Cele explained the processing process of those arrested.
About more than 600 people arrested, not a single tear gas, not a single rubber bullet. People put there. I further visited them in the cells in the Johannesburg Central. I spoke to them, even their friends and relatives. They came because we were busy processing them. We requested them to come the next day. Those that would not have been released because they were illegal in the country, those that were legal in the country, released, go there and look at your papers, stay legal and all that.
More than 400 people who were arrested during the raids last week appeared in this courthouse besides me. Most of them appeared in different courtrooms based on nationality. 7 policemen who also tried reselling counterfeit goods back to the traders appeared in court today. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Itumeleng Mafisa, Channels Television News.
Itumeleng joins us now to discuss this further. Itumeleng, it's good to see you.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. So how can you explain the disconnect between the South African government and the foreigners arraigned today?
Well, what is actually happening is that we're seeing a lot of displeasure from foreign nationals in South Africa. We saw yesterday during a press conference in Pretoria that the Minister of International Corporations, Naledi Pandor, together with the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, tried downplaying the whole situation, but we can see from the visuals in court today that there is a lot of unhappiness from foreign nationals in South Africa.
Yeah, exactly. This arraignment comes a day after South Africa's Foreign Minister, Dr. Naledi Pandor, described as false reports of targeted killings of Nigerians. What are Nigerians, especially living in South Africa, saying about this comment?
Well, look, we're seeing a lot of nervousness, obviously, from Nigerians living in South Africa. But we are seeing Nigerians want to know, actually, if they feel comfortable in South Africa, if they are wanted by the South African government. You know, Nigerians living in South Africa want to know if they are protected. But as I'm saying that yesterday, we saw the ministers downplaying the whole situation with Naledi Pandor, in saying that, she is going to embark on a diplomatic visit to Nigeria to further strengthen diplomatic ties and to just alleviate, any concerns by the Nigerian government about what has been happening in South Africa.
We do apologize for the poor network there, but in the meantime, we will try and reconnect to Itumeleng. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa has won the latest round of a legal battle with South Africa's anti-corruption watchdog as a judge delayed implementation of findings linked to its claim that he misled Parliament about a leadership campaign donation. Public Protector Busisiwe Makwibane alleged in July that President Ramaphosa had deliberately misled Parliament about the 500,000 rand donation for the 2017 campaign to succeed Jacob Zuma as the head of the governing African National Congress. She said there was also evidence of money laundering involving millions of rand in the handling of donations for the campaign. But the president called her report flawed, and in today's High Court challenge against it was granted an interdict against implementation of the watchdog's finding while he appeals. The World Health Organization says it has vaccinated over 1,300 people who potentially came into contact with the Ebola virus in the Congolese city of Goma, helping contain what many fear would be a rapid spread in an urban center. A year-long Ebola outbreak in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has killed at least 1,800 people, the second biggest toll ever, and efforts to contain the virus have been hampered by militia violence and some local resistance to outside interference. Goma, a lakeside city of nearly 2 million people on the Rwandan border, has been on high alert over the past week after a gold miner with a large family contaminated several people before dying himself. No new confirmed cases have been reported in Goma since the WHO's previous report on August the 2nd. One of our main stories today is South Africa, and we have with us our correspondent in Mpumalanga back for the discussions in Mpumalanga. Before the short disruption, you were telling us how Nigerians living in South Africa are reacting to the government's comments.
Well, like I said, of course, Nigerians want to know if they can make South Africa their second home. And we saw the minister downplaying the whole situation, but the minister, Naledi Pandor, again said she will be embarking on a diplomatic visit to Nigeria to strengthen ties with Nigeria and to actually alleviate the concerns that the Nigerian people and the Nigerian government may have about their citizens in South Africa.
Well, you have to agree, though, the alleged killing of Nigerians in South Africa is not new news. It's actually been on for a couple of years. Why is the South African government speaking up now? And how genuine is its reaction to the alleged xenophobia attacks taking place in the country?
Well, you know, yesterday when we went to the press conference, we were quite surprised to actually find the Minister of Police together with the Minister of International Cooperation. So obviously the South African government is acting up right now and is actually concerned. And as we can see, they're showing twisted muscle and in dealing with this whole situation. But what the Minister of Police said is that they are aware of the killings of Nigerians. And what he said to the media was that let's look at this from a more fair point of view, and that some of these killings are perpetrated by Nigerians themselves, and that not all the killings are about xenophobia, but there is a criminal aspect to all of these killings as well.
Mpumalanga, just before I let you go, President Cyril Ramaphosa has invited the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari to South Africa in October. What can we expect from that meeting?
Well, we expect that the two countries will strengthen bilateral ties. We will know that obviously Nigeria and the ANC government have had long ties dating back to the apartheid times. Nigeria was a big supporter of the anti-apartheid movement. So we're more likely to see the two statesmen, Cyril Ramaphosa and President Buhari, catching up and obviously charting out development plans for the two countries and how to further strengthen economic and political ties.
All right, then, Mpumalanga, thank you for shedding more light on that story. Now, here in Nigeria, the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zinat have led Nigeria to India for medical treatment. This follows the order of the Kaduna State High Court granting El-Zakzaky and his wife, who have been in detention since 2015, leave to undergo treatment at an Indian hospital of their choice. The IMN, through Mr. Femi Falana, had applied for medical leave citing poor health. Darius Kobo, the presiding judge, had ordered that the IMN IMN leader and his wife should be allowed to seek treatment abroad, but that they would be accompanied by the officials of the Kaduna State government and personnel of the Department of State Security. He also said the IMN leader must return immediately after treatment to face his charges. The IMN spokesman, Ibrahim Musa, confirmed the trip in a short video sent to Channels Television.
Our leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki, has left Kaduna to Abuja for his eventual trip to Delhi in India for medical treatment as granted leave by a Kaduna State High Court. I cannot give a particular departure time, but we hope the trip will successfully take place today. We are therefore very grateful to all those who have contributed in one way or the other for this successful trip.
Still to come on the program. Tanzania's government says it will build a monument at the burial site of the 71 people who died after a fuel tanker overturned and exploded on Saturday. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.